top British royal family series, inspired by real events.
All right, guys, we're starting our list with a series that beautifully captures royal life during the reign of Queen Victoria, a remarkable era known for its elegance, major social changes, and complex political drama within the monarchy. The Victoria follows the life of Queen Victoria, beginning when she ascended the British throne at the age of 18. She later became one of the most influential monarchs in British history and the great-great-grandmother of Queen Elizabeth II, whose reign eventually surpassed Victoria's record as the longest ruling monarch. The story shows how young Victoria learned to rule a massive empire while facing intense political pressure, palace intrigue, and the constant expectations of the public. The series also beautifully portrays her love story with Prince Albert, who became not only her husband, but also her closest confidant and most trusted advisor. Together, they built a powerful alliance rooted in love, loyalty, and a shared vision for the future of the empire. Beyond royal politics, the show explores Victoria's personal struggles as she tries to balance her duties as a queen, a wife, and a mother, making her story feel both grand and deeply human at the same time. The White Queen series takes place during the Wars of the Roses, a brutal civil war between the House of York and the House of Lancaster as they fought for the English throne. At the center of the story is Elizabeth Woodville, a widow from a commoner background who unexpectedly captures the heart of King Edward IV and marries him. She later becomes one of the most famous queens of England, recognized for her efforts to help bring peace during the Civil War within the English kingdom. After becoming Queen of England, Elizabeth must learn to survive within the palace while protecting her family and her crown. She faces constant threats from powerful rivals determined to remove her from power. Her journey is marked by political schemes, betrayal, and devastating personal losses. Elizabeth is often called the mother of the dynasty for her role in shaping the royal bloodline. She later becomes the great-grandmother of Queen Elizabeth I, who would play a major role in England's future. Overall, I think the series is very engaging because it combines royal conflict, romance, and emotional storytelling in a way that feels intense, yet easy to follow. The White Princess continues the story from the White Queen, following Elizabeth of York as she's forced to marry Henry VII in order to end the brutal Wars of the Roses between the houses of York and Lancaster. Even though their marriage is meant to bring peace, their relationship starts off full of tension, mistrust, and political pressure. Their marriage eventually creates a new royal bloodline and begins the Tudor dynasty, including the birth of their son, Henry VIII, who would later become one of England's most famous and controversial kings. What makes this series really interesting is how it doesn't just focus on royal politics, but also about two people who are pushed into a marriage for the sake of a kingdom. Watching their relationship slowly develop while they face rebellions, betrayal, and family conflicts makes the story feel emotional and relatable, even though it's set in a royal world. Well, if you enjoy historical dramas with romance, political intrigue, and strong character development, The White Princess is definitely worth watching. Well guys, if you enjoyed The Tudors, then this is a series you absolutely have to watch. While The Tudors mainly focuses on King Henry VIII, his power, and the drama surrounding his marriages, this series shifts the focus to Catherine of Aragon, Henry VIII's first wife, and tells the story from her perspective. The Spanish princess follows Catherine of Aragon, a Spanish princess sent to England to secure a royal alliance through her marriage to Prince Arthur, the heir to the Tudor throne. However, after Arthur's sudden death, her future becomes uncertain and takes a dramatic turn. Catherine later marries Arthur's younger brother, Henry VIII. Interestingly, their marriage is portrayed not only as a political arrangement, but also as a relationship that develops through genuine affection and mutual support. Personally, I find this series very compelling because it offers a fresh and deeper perspective on Tudor history. It presents Catherine not just as Henry's first wife, but as a powerful and admirable queen who remains dignified and strong, while standing beside a young king still learning how to rule, all while struggling to maintain her authority and position. Well, if you enjoy the history of the British monarchy, it feels almost incomplete not to watch this series. The Crown is a modern biographical drama that follows the life of Queen Elizabeth II, beginning with her early years as a young princess who was never meant to become queen, and tracing her journey into a steady and enduring symbol of stability for the United Kingdom during times of political tension, family scandals, and major social change. The series also highlights her marriage to Prince Philip, portraying a love story shaped and tested by the heavy responsibilities of the crown. As Elizabeth steps into her role as queen, she is forced to balance her duty to the nation with her role as a wife, making personal sacrifices and facing emotional challenges that shape their relationship over the years. But the story does not center on Elizabeth alone. The Crown also explores the complex lives of her children and grandchildren. It highlights Prince Charles's relationship with Camilla Parker Bowles and his highly publicized marriage to Princess Diana, a union that began like a modern fairy tale but slowly fell apart under intense media pressure and private struggles. The Next Generation also comes into focus, portraying Prince William's early romance with Kate Middleton, from their first meeting at university to the quiet beginnings of a relationship developing under growing media attention. One of the must-watch British historical series is The Tudors. It tells the dramatic story of King Henry VIII, the English monarch famously known for having 6 wives, several of whom met a tragic fate and were executed by beheading. Henry was also the father of Queen Elizabeth I, one of the most iconic and influential queens in history, whose reign later brought England into a remarkable golden age. The Tudors tells the story of King Henry VIII of England, a young king known for his charm, ambition, and strong desire for power. He is remembered as one of the most controversial monarchs in history, driven by a fierce determination to strengthen England's power and influence, both politically and militarily. The story mainly focuses on Henry VIII's personal life, especially his complicated and intense love affairs. Obsessed with having a male heir, Henry goes through a series of marriages marked by passion, manipulation, and heartbreak. From Catherine of Aragon to Anne Boleyn, each relationship not only transforms Henry himself, but also leaves a lasting impact on the future of the kingdom, as his relentless pursuit of a male heir ultimately drives England to break away from the Roman Catholic Church. Now we're halfway through the list. And this one? I genuinely love it. It's the kind of series I can rewatching anytime and still feel the same excitement. And I have a feeling this might be one of your favorites too. It's a series that not only has a compelling storyline, but also delivers stunning visuals in every episode. From the beautiful cast and elegant costumes to the breathtaking palace settings, Reign is incredibly satisfying to watch. Reign tells the story of Mary Stuart, also known as Mary, Queen of Scots, the Queen of Scotland, who ascended the throne as an infant and is also the cousin of Queen Elizabeth I. This blood relationship places Mary in a dangerous position, as she also has the right to make a claim to the English throne, causing her presence to be closely watched by Elizabeth from the very beginning. To protect her life from political threats, Mary is raised at the French royal court and later married to Francis, the heir to the French throne, in a marriage that is initially strategic rather than romantic. Over time, their relationship develops into a complicated love, especially when another figure enters her life, creating a love triangle amid royal duties, court intrigue, betrayal, and growing political tension. Behind the splendor of the French court, Mary must face power struggles, hidden conspiracies, and constant danger. Her tense relationship with Queen Elizabeth grows more dangerous over time, turning each decision into a risk that could cost her authority, personal happiness, or even her life. If you enjoy British royal dramas, your watch list is not complete without a series that explores the early life of one of the most influential monarchs in English history, Elizabeth I. Becoming Elizabeth follows Elizabeth Tudor during her teenage years, long before she became queen. After the death of King Henry VIII, England enters a period of political tension and power struggles. Surrounded by uncertainty, Elizabeth must quickly learn how to survive within the royal court while managing her complex relationships with her half-siblings, Edward VI and Mary I. Her controversial connection with Thomas Seymour further shapes her understanding of trust, loyalty, and power. This experience deeply influences how she approaches love in the future. As she grows older, the story of her life would also be marked by her deep and enduring bond with Robert Dudley, the man widely rumored to be the great love of Elizabeth I. In my opinion, this series feels darker and more realistic than many other royal dramas. Rather than focusing on palace luxury, it portrays Elizabeth as intelligent yet vulnerable, allowing viewers to see her humanity before she became the powerful and legendary Queen Elizabeth I of England. This series is highly recommended for those who enjoy intense political intrigue and strong character development.